Today, I'm going to be doing a rookie review of Giants' third overall pick, outside linebacker Abdul Carter out of Penn State. What I found to be Carter's best pass rush moves in his rookie season were his spin move and his rip move. In this clip here, you're going to see him line up in the 4-eye and use the spin move against his left guard. He creates quick pressure, and those will lead to sacks throughout his career. He only had 5 sacks in his rookie season, 4.5. But with the arsenal that he has, he will be able to get pressures. This is just a quick pass. The pressure forces a dump off here, which is the name of the game, is pressure. So these reps will result in sacks as he progresses through his career. This is from the last game of the season. Carter's going up against Terrence Steele from the Cowboys here. Look at how quickly he beats him on this pass rush. One quick spin gets him completely turned around. He just gets ducked. He just allows Milton to duck under his body here, and he just misses the sack. But this is another pressure that eventually forces an incompletion. This is a great rep from Carter. So I showed you a couple examples of Abdul Carter's spin move. Now we're going to look at his rip move and how he uses his athleticism to get the edge on the right tackle here, Brian O'Neill, who is a very good tackle in this league. His get off is just too good, and he just gets right around him and forces a pressure. It doesn't result in a sack, but he's right on the quarterback, makes it a tough throw for McCarthy, and it forces an incompletion. This is from the second meeting of the Commanders and the Giants. He's going up against rookie Josh Conerly here. He was destroying Conerly all game. In this clip especially, he gets around the edge, uses the rip move, and forces a hold on what probably would have been a sack for Carter, and it still ended up being an incompletion. So he is still affecting the game, even though it doesn't show up in the stat sheet. So while Carter's rookie season was good from a pass rush perspective, he does need to get better against the run and setting the edge on these outside runs. You're going to see here him going up against Laramie Tunsil. He gets washed out of his gap and then pancaked. This is not a good look at a run that goes right at him. He's got to be able to stick an arm in Tunsil's chest and stand his ground and anchor better than that. Not only does Carter need to be more physical against the run, he needs to be more disciplined and use his eyes better. This is going to be an outside run to Hampton on 3rd and short, right at Carter. And he just completely crashes down to this fullback and takes himself out of the play, and it ends up being a first down. However, this is something Carter did get better at throughout the season. This is a goal line stand against the Lions right here. He's going up against Taylor Decker, and he completely beats him to a spot and fills the gap that the running back, I think Montgomery, is trying to get through and forces a stop. Another example of Carter getting better against the run is on this play against the Raiders in Week 17. This is going to be an outside run on this left tackle here, and Carter on the other side is going to make a great play. He's going to beat the tight end to his spot here, do a great job sliding down the line, and is able to make a TFL. Something that also didn't help Abdul Carter was DC Shane Bowen. In this game, especially against the Chiefs, Carter was lined up in a 3-tech or 4-eye or in this off-ball linebacker position, and he was just clearly not ready to be put into coverage like this. This play especially, this slot receiver right here is going to be on a crossing route up the field. This is going to be on a deep post, and Juju is going to be on a backside dig around 15 yards up the field right about here. Off the snap, Carter looks run and then drops to about 8 yards. He needs to turn his head, at least this way where the 3 receivers are, and see Juju coming inside here. Instead, he's reading Mahomes' eyes the entire time, and when Mahomes starts to run around the pocket a little bit, Carter decides to drive on him instead of cover and vacates his zone, leaving this wide open, which ultimately results in a huge play for the Chiefs. Again, though, Carter showed improvement in coverage throughout his rookie year. Here he is lined up on the edge of the line. He is guarding Jeremy McNichols on a wheel route here. This is textbook coverage from Carter. He does a great job reading McNichols throughout this entire rep, and is stride for stride with him 30 yards up the field, which for a pass rusher is very impressive. So this could be something that the Giants could look at with their new DC and Denard Wilson and maybe feel more confident in his abilities to drop back into coverage this coming season. Something schematically that I really like from the Giants that they did this season was line Carter up and blitz him from this middle linebacker position. They did this a ton all year. It was very successful the entire season. They also love to line up Burns on the opposite middle linebacker position and stunt the two of them through the A and B gaps and use Lawrence essentially as a bulldozer to push them out of the way. In this position, though, in this play, Lawrence is going to stunt or drive down here to get Booker out of the way so Carter can stunt over. And Carter gets to this center's left shoulder, blows right through it, and gets a huge hit on Milton to force an incompletion. This just shows Carter's impact being felt more than it shows on the stat sheet and will continue to be shown throughout his career. Another example of this is Carter lined up right over their center again, and he just devastates the center right here with this spin move. Gets off easy sack on Max Brosner. This might have been Carter's best pass rush rep all year, and it's a work of art. Something else that I saw was Carter's inability to diagnose screen plays and especially zone reads. He struggled on that throughout the entire year. This is a great example. This is the highlight of the Giants defense this entire season, and it's all because of Abdul Carter right here. When they hike the ball and this tight end chips him and he sees this tackle here run past him, Carter immediately knows that there's a screen, and he does a great job jumping into the passing lane, and this allows Brian Burns to kill J.J. McCarthy and return this for a touchdown. But this is all because of Abdul Carter getting in the way of that screen, and it showed massive improvements from his other play recognition abilities throughout the first couple weeks of the season. Although his numbers didn't show it, Abdul Carter was a very impactful rookie for the Giants this year and should be a very impactful player for the Giants for the foreseeable future. Because of that, I'd probably give his rookie season a B+ overall.